I still remember the smell of her perfume on our bed, the faint trace of lavender that lingered long after she was gone. It used to comfort me. Now it makes my stomach twist. It was a Tuesday morning when Emma told me she had to fly to Vermont. Her voice trembled just enough to make me believe her story. "Dad's sick again," she said, throwing clothes into her suitcase with shaky hands. "He's in the hospital. I don't know how bad it is this time." I didn't question it. Why would I? This was my wife, my partner of 9 years. The woman who held me through my mother's funeral, who stayed up with me when I lost my job, who promised me that nothing would ever break us. So I kissed her forehead, told her to drive safe, and offered to come along. She said no. "Don't worry about it," she insisted. "It's just for a few days. I'll call when I get there." That was the first lie. At first, I didn't notice anything strange. Emma texted me that evening. "Landed safe. Heading to the hospital. Love you." Then again the next morning. "Dad's doing a bit better today. I'll keep you updated." Everything seemed normal, until I called her father myself. "Hey Tom," I said over the phone, smiling out of habit. "Just wanted to check in. How are you feeling?" There was a pause. A confused pause. "I'm fine, son," he replied. "Why do you ask?" I froze. "Emma said you were sick. That you were in the hospital." Tom chuckled, though it wasn't a laugh. It was the kind of bewildered sound someone makes when they're trying to figure out what's going on. "Hospital? No. I haven't been to the hospital in months." The phone slipped in my hand. My pulse began to race. "Wait, are you sure she didn't come visit?" He hesitated now. "I haven't seen Emma in weeks." The world tilted beneath me. That night I didn't sleep. I replayed every detail from the past week. Her sudden distance, her phone always on silent, the nervous glance she gave me when she packed. I told myself there had to be another explanation. Maybe she didn't want to worry me. Maybe she was helping someone else. Maybe. No. Something inside me snapped. The next morning I did something I never thought I'd do. I called a private investigator. His name was Jeff. Gray beard, worn leather jacket, the kind of man who'd seen too many broken hearts. "Tell me everything," he said. So I did. Every text, every call, every gut feeling. He scribbled notes, then looked up. "You said she claimed she was in Vermont?" "Yes." He nodded. "I'll find out where she really is." I felt sick even hearing those words. But a part of me already knew. I just needed proof. 3 days later, Jeff called me back. "I've got something," he said. I met him in a coffee shop downtown. He slid an envelope across the table, thick, heavy, like it contained the weight of the truth itself. Inside were photos. Emma standing under palm trees, laughing. A man beside her. They were holding hands. My throat tightened as I stared at the resort sign behind them. Sand Cove Lovers Retreat, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Not Vermont. Not even the same time zone. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to deny it, to believe it was some kind of mistake, but her face, that smile I'd kissed 1,000 times, said it all. She wasn't tending to a sick father. She was basking in paradise with someone else. When she called that night, pretending everything was fine, I decided to play along. "Hey honey," I said, forcing my voice to stay steady. "How's your dad?" "Oh, he's better," she said softly. "Might be discharged soon." "That's good," I said. "What's the weather like there?" "Cold," she replied instantly. "Cold." I looked again at the photo of her in a sundress, sunlight glowing on her skin. My heart splintered. When she came home 2 days later, I'd already filed for divorce. I didn't tell her yet. I wanted her to tell me the truth first. She walked in with that same lavender scent, suitcase in hand, eyes bright with fake exhaustion. "Hey," she said, forcing a tired smile. "It's been a long week." "Yeah," I said. "Must have been." We stood in the kitchen, silent, the air thick with unspoken words. "How's your dad?" I asked. She hesitated. "He's okay now. Just needs rest." "Good," I said, sliding a folder across the counter. "Because I called him. He said he hasn't been sick." Her face went pale. The mask slipped. What? "I also know where you've been," I continued, my voice breaking. "Sand Cove Lovers Resort. Puerto Rico." She froze, every lie unraveling in her eyes. Tom wasn't sick. You weren't even in the country. So who is he, Emma? Tears welled up instantly. Please, Michael, let me explain. Explain what? I snapped. That you lied? That you left me thinking your father was dying, so you could sleep with someone else. She tried to reach for me, but I stepped back. Don't, I said. Don't you dare touch me. That night I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just sat at the dining table, staring at the woman I thought I knew, while she tried to justify the unjustifiable. It wasn't supposed to happen, she said through tears. I met him months ago at a conference. We started talking and God, I don't know, he made me feel seen again. Seen? I whispered. You had a husband who adored you. I know, she cried. But somewhere along the way we stopped being us. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I shook my head. You didn't mean for it, but you booked a resort. You lied about your father. You planned it. Her silence was answer enough. The next morning I left early. I couldn't stay in that house anymore. Every corner felt poisoned, with her laughter, her lies, her ghost. For weeks I went through the motions, work, sleep, repeat, trying to pretend I was fine. But every time my phone buzzed, my chest tightened. Every time I saw a woman with long brown hair, my heart stumbled. It's strange how betrayal doesn't just end when the truth comes out. It lingers like a bruise that refuses to fade. She texted a few times begging to talk. I ignored her. Then one evening she showed up at my doorstep. She looked thinner. Hello. Michael, please, she said. Just listen. I didn't want to, but I let her in. I ended it with him, she said immediately. It was a mistake. I don't even recognize who I was. You think that changes anything? I asked quietly. No, she whispered. But I need you to know that I never stopped loving you. I laughed bitterly. You loved me while you were in bed with someone else? Her eyes filled again. You have every right to hate me. I hate myself. But please, Michael, don't let this be the last chapter of us. I stared at her for a long moment. I wanted to believe her. God, I did. But trust, once shattered, doesn't just piece itself back together. You already ended us, I said finally. The day you packed that suitcase. She broke down right there. On the same floor where we once danced on our anniversary night. I didn't comfort her. Not this time. The divorce went through 2 months later. She didn't contest anything. I kept the house, though sometimes I wish I hadn't. Every room carries an echo of her. Sometimes I catch myself remembering the good years. The morning coffee runs, the quiet evenings, the laughter. Then I remember the photos. The lies. The way she sat cold while standing under a tropical sun. That's when I remind myself. Love can't survive where honesty dies. It's been a year now. People say time heals everything. Maybe they're right, but time doesn't erase. It just teaches you to live with the scars. I still think about Emma sometimes. Not with anger anymore. Just with a kind of distant ache, like remembering a song you used to love but can't listen to anymore. Last month I got a letter from her. No return address, just her handwriting. Inside was a single line. I hope one day you'll forgive me. Not so we can be together, but so you can be free. I read it once, then set it on fire in the sink. As the paper curled into ash, I felt something uncoil inside me. A release I hadn't realized I'd been waiting for. I still don't know who the man was. I don't want to. Maybe he was a symptom, not the cause. A mirror showing her what she'd already lost inside. But me? I've learned that love isn't blind. It just chooses to close its eyes sometimes. And when it opens them again, the light burns, but it also heals. A few weeks ago I took a trip. Not to escape, but to start over. Funny enough, I ended up in Puerto Rico, the same island where my marriage ended. I didn't go to Sand Cove, though. I went to a quiet beach nearby, where the waves whispered instead of roared. I sat there for hours watching the sunset bleed into the sea. And for the first time in a long while, I didn't feel bitterness. I felt peace. Because sometimes the hardest goodbyes are the ones that save you. And as the tide washed over my feet, I realized something. Emma may have left me with pain, but she also left me with clarity. That love isn't about never falling. It's about knowing when to stand up and walk away. And that's exactly what I did. I walked away, finally free.